What up, guys? Mad Scientist 7A90 here, your favorite wrestling shooter and hip-hop enthusiast. Now here with this one, Copper Drop, April 2012, finally in the books, going into May. So I thought I'd hit you guys up with the, albums and mixtapes worth checking out, the albums and mixtapes worth just not wasting your time on. I'm going to start off here with the drops. And I originally was going to do the cop ones first, but I want to do the drops because towards the end of April there was quite a few things that kind of came out of nowhere that I think are kind of special things that I want to talk about last. So I'm going to hit up with the drops here first. First thing I'm going to tell you to drop, actually 4 mixtapes. I'm just going to throw them all together because they're kind of in the same realm, and they're basically it's Starlito, Mental Warfare, French Montana, Cocaine City 3, Cash Out, It's My Time, and Sam Scarfo, The Package. All three of these are just those Waka Flocka, Gucci, just all kind of just bangers, barely rapping kind of mixtapes. Cash Out, It's My Time is to me is the epitome of a ringtone like single. Like Cashing Out, the song Cashing Out is real popular now. Good banger for the radio, ringtone, like I said, song. But the rest of the album, or mixtape, it literally is just a one-track, like, mixtape to me. And the rest of it just all sounded just kind of blurred together. So those 4 right there, don't waste your time on those. Next, Beanie, Sigel, Broadstreet Empire. I like Beanie Sigel as a MC, but he's solid, I guess. But the production on this, I just didn't care for at all. I really just was like, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Like it almost just like took away from Beanie Sigel as a lyricist on this. I don't know, I just didn't like it for some reason. It was just kind of bizarre to me. So next we got Next we got here Snoop Dogg's The Stoners EP. I mean, I don't know. It just, to me, it just was kind of just poppy, and I don't know. I really didn't care for it. And half the tracks were not even like him, like on there. So it was to me. So I mean, I wouldn't waste your time on it unless you're a Snoop fan. Next, the Dogg Pound DPGC'ology, I guess is what it is, mixtape. This is definitely a West Coast mixtape with Snoop and all his his crew with the Dogg Pound there. But at times this came off sloppy to me. A lot of these things I'm talking about here, these last couple mixtapes I've talked about here are all mostly free. So I mean, unless you're a fan, I wouldn't waste your time on it. Next here on the drop, oh man, I'm gonna get some hatred for this one because I know there's some fans out there of these guys, and here's the thing, I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to hip-hop music. Like I like different styles, and I like versatile artists that can do different things, but just some things I just can't get into. I can't jump on the bandwagon and pretend like I like these guys. And I'm sorry guys, but Death Grips, The Money Store, I'm sorry, I can't get into it. It seems like it may come off maybe somehow clever if I understood what he was saying, but I just couldn't get into this. Like, it just so at you, and it's just so like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't work for me. It's just something I can't just sit down and just vibe to. It's so at you, and I don't care for it. So sorry guys, but otherwise, if you like that kind of stuff, pick it up. But to me, I don't think it's worth checking out. Future, Pluto. Oh my god. This was terrible. This was crap in my opinion. Like I hated this. I'm so glad that I did not pay money for this. But it just, the auto tuning and just barely any rapping, and it's just that production that's just so popular now all over the radio. It's just every song just sounding literally the same. It sucks. I don't like it. He's in that class with those you know, other guys I just talked about, the French Montanas and Cash Out and those kind of guys. Just no good. Just no go for me, guys. And then finally, the last thing, I would definitely say, just do not waste your money on. And here's the thing, I'm not gonna hate on, you know, the artist, but I will hate on this project because, you know, Nicki Minaj, okay, Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded. Okay, here's the thing. This album is not a good hip hop album. It's not a good pop album. It's not a good album. It's just not good. Like, sorry, but I do respect Nicki for, you know, doing her thing and crossing over, and she's getting paid. Like, she's making just buco bucks right now, and just money coming out her ass for this kind of music. But for every, you know, 5 million people that hate this, there's 10 million who like it. And I am definitely not one of the 10 million that like it. Definitely, this was just terrible to me. Music-wise, lyrically-wise, after the first 2 tracks, where she was just like in that, just like where she makes that weird like voice and she like acts like she's like 2 different people. It just sucked. Sorry, guys. But that's just that. And then I'm kind of torn on this last one. I put it in the middle because I think it deserves to be checked out. But if it was a free mixtape, I would definitely say check it out. But I don't know if I would tell you guys to buy it. And that's Obi Trice's Bottoms Up. I like Obi Trice as a lyricist. I like his storytelling ability. I like Obi Trice, you know, as one of those underrated kind of like, you know, shady MC kind of guys. But to me, the production on this there were songs that I thought the production were great, and then the production was just absolutely terrible. And some of the songs were just really repetitive, and I just didn't care for. And then other times there were songs that I really, really liked. So, if you, by some means, are able to get this for free, I would do that. If you could download it for free. I know it's not a free mixtape, but I definitely wouldn't say pay for it. But so I'm going to put it in kind of in the middle, at the bottom of the cop, to check out if you're really that huge of a fan. So next we're going to go into the cop here. The beginning of April, I was like, wow, this month is, I'm just going to shit all over April. Because, you know, I really didn't think there was just anything going on, like, great. And then stuff started progressing, and some pretty solid stuff started coming out. And then it, towards the end, just was a pretty good month for hip-hop, in my opinion. First, I would definitely say check out, and a lot of these ones I'm going to tell you about here first are free mixtapes. Definitely, they're mixtapes that you should, if they're, you know, they're free, and I would say some, like I said, some of these, if they were albums and they to be paid for it, I probably would put them on the drop. But since they're free, I mean, and there's just enough on there for you to really care to download them for free, I'm gonna put them on the cop. So first got Ace Hood, Starvation. I think Ace Hood put a lot of passion into and behind this mixtape. I think at times he really came off like really hard on this, not lyrically, but just the way his voice came across. Production was pretty solid, but I think it's because I remember hearing, I guess his daughter died or something, and he kind of just is really passionate about this mixtape here. But overall, definitely worth the free download. Next we got Akon, Koncrete mixtape. I tell this to a lot of my other friends who are hip hop fans. I like Akon as a hook guy, as a chorus guy. I'd like to see an album where Akon is, you know, Akon and another guy who's, you know, a great lyricist, who that guy raps the whole time, and Akon just cuts all the choruses. I think that would be really cool. Like I said, free mixtape, download it. And some of these ones I'm going to be talking about here, some of them I couldn't remember. I'd have to go back and look it up. But some of these mixtapes and albums and such are from not from April. I'm kind of catching up on. So if there's some where you're like, oh, that didn't come out in April, it's because I just caught up on it or I didn't know about it. So, yeah, next N.O.R.E. Crack on Steroids, great lyricist. Some a couple of standout tracks on here that I liked. But like I said, free mixtape. Go ahead and download it. Next, De La Soul, Plug 1 and Plug 2 First Serve. I'm not really a huge fan of the funky kind of soul production. I'm really more of a fan of the kind of 90s boom bap sound and the 2000, early 2000 kind of, sound of hip hop. That's basically where I grew up into hip hop, so I probably would like that more. But the overall storytelling of this album is definitely worth checking out. They kind of do this back and forth, kind of like Angel Demon, like you're a good guy, you're a bad guy kind of thing, and I really like that. But production, I was like on, because I'm not a huge fan of that kind of production, but it's definitely worth checking out. These next three, two of them are EPs, and one of them is a mixtape, and they're all kind of in this same mold. And that's basically, I every time I do these copper drops for hip hop, there's always a couple mixtapes or an album or something like that if you're definitely a sit down and chill and a weed smoker, there's quite a few out there. I know a lot of you guys who smoke weed pretty much don't give a shit and will pretty much say that you smoke weed. Well, these two of them at least, well, two of them are EPs and one of them is mixtape, are going to be chill ass weed tapes, and that's basically going to be a little thing I'm going to do on these copper drops. Have a little section for the weed smokers, and basically these three here are Casey Veggies, Customized Greatly, 3, J Millz, Property of Potentness actually EP, and then Currency Here EP. Currency's Here EP came out I think in February, but all three of these, where my weed smokers at? There you go. Those three right there, definitely worth copping, sitting and chilling, hitting a L as the kids say, and just chilling to that and listen to that kind of hip hop music. Next, Kass and Doc Hollywood. Never heard of Doc Hollywood or his production, but Kass obviously a great lyricist. One thing I was never a huge fan of Kass's production. I liked his Soul on Ice production because it was kind of like had that 90s feel to it, but everything other than that I just didn't care for his production. I don't know why, but with this I liked some of Doc Hollywood's production here. Another free mixtape, worth downloading. Kass, great lyricist, so that's definitely worth checking out. Next we got Games, California Republic. This is another just free mixtape. I've always liked Games mixtapes. He always had a couple of standout tracks that I would listen to more than once. Bangers even that I would listen to, riding in the whip or at a party or whatever you guys want to say. But that's definitely worth checking out because it's free as well. Next, we're going to start getting into the upper echelon of April. A couple things here. First, Jadakiss, Consignment. I think Jadakiss is a pretty good lyricist, and I think he realizes that. I believe seeing an interview with him, realizes that it's changing of the times, and changing of the times basically, that Waka Flocka, that Gucci kind of Gucci Mane kind of style is popular, which doesn't mean you can't have those kind of beats and have those kind of hooks, but then lyrically go on a track and just kill it. A lot of these tracks are radio bangers, party banger type things, but they have lyricism behind a lot of them with Jadakiss and some really clever, witty type songs. So, banger mixtape of April, Jadakiss's Consignment, definitely worth checking out. Has some really good stuff on it, in my opinion, banger wise. Next, something that really surprised me, and definitely I'm gonna leave a couple links in the descriptions for a couple of these mixtapes that are definitely worth downloading, that are free. But John Connor released a mixtape a couple months ago that I actually downloaded the same time as this one. But he downloaded the Blue Album, which is John Connor rapping over Jay-Z beats, and then this month he came out with the the People's Rapper LP, which is him rapping over Eminem beats. The Blue album one is definitely worth checking out. It's free as well. But the People's Rapper LP I thought was fabulous. Damn good. John Connor, I think, just slaughtered some of those beats, those Eminem beats, off some of the most famous Eminem beats actually, just as good or even maybe better than Eminem. And you guys are probably like, what, really? But from the first track, you know, he just slays that first track, and I'm like, this shit's on. It's gonna go. He's gonna rip, just shred all these beats, and he damn well does with him and his crew. Really do a great job. So I would definitely say the People's Rapper LP by John Connor. Download that shit. It's free. It's awesome. Next, Reks and Statik Selektah, Straight No Chaser. Reks is one of my top favorite MCs right now, and probably top 5 range, up there with Action Bronson and Logic are two of my other ones. But yeah, I mean, this is just Reks. You know, Reks is a great lyricist. I felt like at times the production was kind of subpar for Statik Selektah. I think Statik Selektah is a pretty good producer. I like the majority of the stuff he does, but there is standout tracks on here. Definitely the Action Bronson track, because I'm a huge fan of him right now. The Straight No Chaser one as well is a great track. But this overall is, I think it's a solid effort from both guys, and maybe something that when you go back and listen to it a little bit more, it might get better. But still, got to support these underground guys that are just killing it. You know, killing it each mixtape and each album, and this is definitely, in my opinion, worth checking out. So yeah, Reks and Statik Selektah, Straight No Chaser there. This next one here kind of was one of the last things I just listened to several hours ago. Actually, you know, I'm a huge fan of. I follow Dead End Hip Hop on YouTube. I love their reviews and their webisodes and all that stuff. And I was looking at their comment section, and a lot of people were saying you guys should review Dizzy Wright's SmokeOut Conversations. And I was like, okay, I never heard of this guy. You guys are probably like, who? Dizzy Wright? Who is this guy? So I found, you know, a download link. It's free mixtape, and listen to it, and it's really good. But it's in the mold of kind of like ASAP Rocky, Kid Cudi kind of thing. But the difference with the you know, ASAP that came out a while back is the content with this is a lot better. The production is the same par as that, and lyrically Dizzy Wright is better than ASAP Rocky. But this is definitely a hidden gem mixtape, and I'll put this link in the description. Really mellow, just chill production. There's a couple of bangers, so you're not completely, you know, just sitting and falling asleep. But overall, the content and the lyrics and the production, this is definitely a hidden gem, I think, so far in 2012. A lot of you guys should definitely check out Dizzy Wright's SmokeOut Conversations. Pretty good stuff. We got two more. Last two here. Last one is Lushlife, Plateau Vision. Another guy, never heard of this guy. This was getting great reviews, so I thought I'd check it out, and it's definitely great. Lushlife is, he comes, I guess he's a producer MC. Producer first, MC second. He produced, I believe, all of these tracks actually, and he's a pretty solid MC. But the production really stands out to me. He really has a '90s kind of feel with like a new school kind of experimental production at times, and I really liked this. I thought this was so different than a lot of things I've heard this year, and kind of stood out. Kind of like, I don't want to go as far as saying it was kind of like Shabazz Palace's Black Up last year, but it's in the kind of mold that it's so different from what I've heard, and it's not bad different. It still sticks to kind of that 90s kind of flow, like Nas kind of sound, but with a different kind of experimental production. Definitely you should check it out if you're a fan of just different, interesting experimental hip hop. I really liked it. And then finally, dropping April 30th. Huge fan from last year. Logic dropped Young Sinatra Undeniable. Young Sinatra from last year, the mixtape, might have been the most listened to hip hop album / mixtape I listened to all of 2011. That shit was in my ears all the time. I loved just literally 99% of that mixtape. His flow, his lyrics, his production. A lot of the production on it is beats that have already been made and used, but he kills them. And there's some beats that are new, but same thing with this one. This one I don't think is not as good as the one from last year, I don't think, but it's still probably up there with the top 3 mixtapes I've heard this year. With some of them I've mentioned, so far this year. But yeah, Young Sinatra Undeniable came out with this single, the single Tic Tac Toe. It seems like that would just be a track that should be just playing on the radio right now. Really cool song. Just him rapping over a lot of just older, just famous beats and with this and kind of changing them up a little bit and coming up with some of his own songs on this. It's like 20 some odd tracks. It's fantastic. Like I absolutely love this guy's flow, and it's definitely one of the best MCs to me anywhere right now. So if you haven't heard this in anything from Logic, this mixtape just came out April 30th. Go back out and check out Young Sinatra from last year. This is Young Sinatra Undeniable from Logic. So damn good stuff here. The last couple couple mixtapes I mentioned here, I'm gonna put links in the description. I believe datpiff.com has most of these for download, so for free. So yeah, so it'll be Young Sinatra Undeniable from Logic, Dizzy Wright, SmokeOut Conversations, and then that John Connor People's Rapper LP. I'm gonna put those links in the description for you guys to check out. Please, when there's free mixtapes like this, here's the thing with these is, if you're not gonna be buying them, spread the word. Spread the word. Download the music, listen to it, enjoy it, tell your friends, and that's what I'm doing with the stuff that I really like, and it's free. If you're not going to pay for it, spread the word and get this guy out here and make this guy some paper, because these guys, some of these mixtapes that have been free have been better than albums that have been $15 this year. So that's just my little rant at the end about free mixtapes. So this has been my Copper Drop for April 2012, going into May here. Got a couple cool things coming out in May. Can't wait to hear some of this stuff. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm the Mad Scientist, your favorite wrestling shooter and hip-hop enthusiast. Deuces.